Hey, what's up guys, it's Ziggy here, and welcome to Gore and Parkour in Dying Light 2.
Shit.
I know the video's a little late. I'm sorry.
Wait, no way.
Anyways, let's get into this. So I played Dying Light 2 for a while now. I've been playing for a good chunk, little time now, and the game's fun, don't get me wrong, the game's real fun. But it's really, the only fun parts to me are everything but the story. I don't know if I just can't play story games nowadays, but like I was able to play The Punisher fine, dandy, you know, easiness. But I went to go play Dying Light 2's story, and it was just, I don't know, not for me. That was a terrible voice crack. Let's get into the premise of the story. We are Aiden. We are a pilgrim, which is a very odd name. They're like the runners from Dying Light 1. They're called pilgrims now. Mind you, this is 11 years after the fall, and our whole mission, our whole goal throughout this game is to find our missing sister Mia. Yeah, and that's basically it. You go on this journey, you go inside this city, you get your ass kicked, you get bitten by a zombie. It's kind of like the first one when you get bit by a zombie, because then you gotta, in the first one you were trying to get antigen, and in this one you just get biomarker, and like UV light and sunlight in general helps hold back the disease somehow. I'm still very unsure how that works. So like I said, we get jumped by a zombie. We have to, you know, we're starting to turn. People actually tried to hang us. Like, that's a normal thing to do if you're infected. They literally hang you as you're turning, like you were about to be hung, if not for the man, the myth, the legend, Hakan, I'm saying his name wrong, I probably am. Anyways, he's a badass, he's like our buddy, he saves us. We go on a little journey together trying to find a biomarker so we can get into the center of the town, because you just can't get in without one. We go on a little chase journey thing where we have to run away from zombies because the UV light outside the center broke when they wouldn't let us in. We hold off some zombies for a little bit. I had to beat them in with my baseball bat. That's one thing I do like about this game, the combat and like the whole parry, blocking, parkour and all that stuff. It's just chef's kiss. It is amazing in this game. That's why this video is titled Parkour and Gore in Dying Light 2. Because that's what the game really has. It has good parkour and it has some really good gore. Now the gore is very, I guess I would say, limited. You can cut off certain body parts, you know, head, arms, legs. I wasn't successful at cutting off any legs, but the gore is pretty solid. It's bloody, you know. You have to have a slasher weapon. The first weapon you get is a baseball bat, so it was kind of hard to show the gore when you could only beat people's brains in with the baseball bat. But yeah, the gore in general, I mean, it fits into a Dying Light game. I don't expect like entrails, like, you know, run up to someone and stab him and entrails come out or anything like that. You know, I expect this sort of combat in a Dying Light game. Overall, I'd give this game like 8 zombie heads out of 10 zombie heads, because, like I said, the story for me is just really not there. One quest, for instance, I'll do this as an example. I was playing, and you go meet with the peacekeeper captain, and he's like, well, I think... He's like, if you help me get this Lazarus, this weapon that killed the previous captain, and find the killer, then I'll help you, and I promise to get you to the center. Blah, blah, blah. You find out you get the Lazarus from a little fucking kid, and you go back to him, and boom, you hand him the Lazarus, and he's like, and you're like, boom, here's that weapon you asked for, give me to the center. And he's like, well, unfortunately, it's not gonna be that easy, you see. At that point, I just realized the game throws you in fucking curves just to get to like the end game of, you know, finding out who Mia is. And don't get me wrong, there are really some, you know, parts that kept me on my seat, like the hospital chase scene in the beginning of the game, when you and Hakan secure a biomarker from the hospital, and then you have to run away, you know, run outside the hospital because you're about to fucking turn. That was fun. That kept me on the edge of my seat, but at the same time, you know, it just feels, I know story's supposed to like go in path, but like this one just feels so linear. Like, don't get me wrong, there are fun side quests in this game. There's a lot of secrets and stuff. Like there's a hoverboard and there's a bicycle you can get. Like, there's some really fun stuff in the game, but at the same time, the story was just, it's just a fucking, like, it's RPG, like, literally RPG in Dying Light, which, hey, I'm not gonna shit on you if you like it, you know, but just for me, I was skipping cutscenes, because if I wanted, it would have been 5 hours of recording, not even 5 hours into the gameplay. Like, that's how long the cutscenes and story are. And the story itself is just not for me. I mean, finding our long-lost sister, killing this Waltz guy, like, ugh. Don't get me wrong, Waltz is a pretty nasty fucker. I watched him gut somebody because they said they had a GRE key in their stomach. They patted their stomach, and you know what Waltz did? He fucking proceeded to gut them and rummage around in their insides. Like, don't get me wrong, he deserves to die, and I'm glad he dies, but at the same time, the story feels almost like it's very forced in one direction. Now, you can choose different paths. There are different paths. Don't get me wrong. There are different ways you can proceed with the story. I proceeded the best possible option because I'm a Giga Chad. I don't want to fuck anybody up. I want to be friends with all. Peace and prosperity, brother. But man, the gore and parkour in this game is really what makes it. Even the combat too. Throughout the game, there are these little encampments, I would call them. You basically like find a group of enemies. It's either like the renegades or, you know, it's usually the renegades. Piece of shit. And you find just like them on different rooftops, and beating the shit and slicing the shit out of them is probably my most favorite thing, especially when you hit the perfect parry, leap over them, vault over them, and proceed to kick one off the side of the roof or kick one in the face and they fucking die. Like, oh, that's so good. Thank you. But I'm actually going to make a part 2 to this video. I won't say it's a part 2, but down the line, further in the series, I'm going to revisit the game. But it won't be, like, there's not going to be a set date for it. It'll just, somewhere down the line, it'll be a compilation. I'm going to record more of the game while I play it, just so I can come back to it, in case I end up actually liking, like, the story and stuff. The story is not for me. It's just, I find like I drift off some points. Like I said, I hit space so many during the cutscenes because I'm just not interested. Like, it doesn't really hook me. And I guess it just wasn't story-wise for me, but don't get me wrong, the side quests and like little encampments and doing stuff like the windmills, that's pretty fun. And the combat in general is freaking fun. The parkour is amazing. Monkey bars, you got ropes now. You even got a fucking glider. Like, Jesus, they knew what they were doing in this game. I'm ready. If there's gonna be DLC for this game, I'm definitely gonna get it. But yeah, this is Parkour and Gore in Dying Light 2, and I hope you guys all did enjoy the video. If you guys did, let me know what type of game you'd want to see in the comment section down below, or just tell me what you thought of this video. Anything I can change up, anything you'd like to see different wise. I debate doing these voiceovers. The last video I did, People Playground, it wasn't really a voiceover, it was just me recording while I was playing. But this time I decided to do a voiceover because most of this footage is from when I was on, like, literally, like, I shit you not, 0 hours of sleep. I didn't sleep. I was trying to reset my sleep schedule. And yeah, that's why some points I just have to mute it because I got fucking annoyed. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see with this series. The next game we are going to be playing is probably going to be Hatred, which is a very controversial game. It'll be a video that, well, we'll see how it is. Anyways, it's been Ziggy. I'm sorry the video came out so late. I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Parkour and Gore in Dying Light 2. Or